right? So when it comes to master data, like for example, a retail store is there, all the products which they are selling frequently on all 30 days, they will not update it every day. So when you have observed, when they are going to bill your products, they are showing the barcode and how the price is coming from where the price is coming. There is a price master, there is a product or a material master. So that's the reason that product's price is automatically coming based on the date into your computer, right? So basically you have to understand the master data is something which is long-term used standard information. It's called master data. And do remember this, Metal Master will have multiple views like this. You can see the master data is a central object, what it says it is having. It represents the raw material supplies. That means materials can be of material type, many material types. It can be a finished product, it can be a raw material, it can be a configurable material. There are many kinds of materials which are pipeline material. So that means like water, so the gas. So materials can be of various formats, various forms, various dimensions, various kinds of usages. So what he says is, being an ERP, SAP being an ERP, this customer master or sorry, this product master or material master record is equally used by all the modules, isn't it? A finance guy has a role in the product because he has to know what should be the selling price and what is the profits you are going to make. And you are selling manufacturing at $100, and they'll expect a price of $250 for that product, and they will see that they will always finish the entire product delivery by within the $100 mark. So to finish such kind of things, like in any ERP, this be a planned process, planned strategy in the entire product management. So do remember this Metal Master record. When we are going into this, I will be showing you how the Metal Master is generally worked out. So as an SD consultant, you take any company, maybe a logistics company, maybe a company is manufacturing, which is manufacturing PCs, bulb manufacturing, and do remember every business process will have all these steps, from the pre-sales to sales to inventory sourcing to shipping, billing, and payment. So when you are having all these processes, do remember that, but every manufacturing will not follow the same inventory method, isn't it? Can I handle the PCs and the steel bars in the same way? I cannot. Can I handle the glass manufacturing companies and confectionaries in the same way? I cannot. The storage process is not same. The delivery time cannot be same. That's why you see confectionery companies will have localized packing process and localized manufacturing process with the formula making. Food processing, it is also not exported to country. All the products are not done that. A 30 days expiry date products, generally they exported 15 days to 30 days products which can expire. But so everything, something called, we have you have to understand, SAP SD is not common for every kind of products. Some products will follow make to order, some products will follow you follow the engineer to order. Sometimes they follow make to stock. Sometimes they follow bulk processing. Sometimes they follow the mass production. So again, production is again is in sales. We also have to consider there are two kinds of production. One is discrete, another one is process. If you consider a bulb manufacturing company, it is a discrete manufacturing. Okay, when you consider a pharma company or a chemical company, it is a process industry. That's what PP is having two kinds: discrete, PI, process industry. So like that, the format of this business you have to understand with the business process, not with the steps in what you conduct in SD. Tomorrow when you go to an interview, they're not going to ask you what is Metal Master, tell me the T code of MM01. No. But fortunately, unfortunately, people don't have time. They just practice what what is said in the class, and they are happy with it. But in that way, if you are going to continue the sessions, because people don't find time and they automatically skip all these basic things. So if you go to any material master, if you can see here, material master data is not simply one kind of data. Like it will have many kinds of data, like basic data one, sales org, purchasing, sales general plan data. Can you see this? So each one is a view, a database view, which will go into the, that means you can see this, valid for all organization units, sales organization, valid for sales organization, because specific to what do you mean by sales organization? Sales organization is the selling headquarter of the particular company in maybe a country specific or a vertical specific. Sales general plant, that means it will talk about from where the product would be delivered, because if the product is delivered from Canada, the price is different. The product is delivered from India, the India delivery plant, then the price would be different. Uh, the delivery process, the courier process, the transportation legs, many things would change when you're talking about this general plant data. So what he says is, why we have to work in the master data? This master data is going to store all the information which is required by the product. For example, the transaction code for creating a product. Go to logistics, sales and distribution, master data, go to products. You write these T codes. You have to remember few of the T codes. Take this T codes, MMH1. Change and display are always same, but SD guys will be have to remember few T codes. Done, right? So uh, see, do remember, SD consultants will not have access to all the products because products are generally maintained by material management people, people, not by the SD guys. But okay, once you get into the senior levels, then you would get access, and you write this T code also, MM01. MM01 is a single T code for all material types. You write that. MM01 is a single T code for all material types. And change and display is common. There is a standard method. There is a write one paragraph here. There is a standard method of uploading the materials from legacy system into SAP system known as LSMW, Legacy System Migration Workbench. Legacy System Migration Workbench. So do remember, there will be millions of products. If you take a company like Rolls-Royce or a Boeing, they will not have one or two. They manufacture engines for aircrafts. So these people will have there are millions of spares which they have in the middle master. You don't keep on creating like this, but whenever you want to create an individual product, anytime the need may arise. For that reason, you have to learn it. It is not an everyday process where you create a material as an SD consultant. That's the reason trading goods, especially SD consultants, will only change some updates. You will not know what FI, because that's the reason product creation is not a job of one module guy. Every module will have some views and they have to input their fields which are, because do remember, entire business is driven on the product, isn't it? Product will have cost, product will have quality, product will have the weight, product will have color, product will have type of behavior, product will have the production mechanism. So everything so that's the reason product in SAP SD becomes a very core part in the entire business, right? So take some examples of material types which are standard material types. They will not change. DIN, DIEN, service. EDSA, the spare part. These codes will not change. Even in CRM system also they have the same codes. FERT, FERT, food. HALB, semi-finished good. HAWA, trading goods. came at. INTR, intramaterial, within the company. NLAG, non-stock material. NLAG. Have you written those things? And write this last one as pipeline material. As I said, gas, water, all these things are called pipeline materials. Done. Take some examples of finished product. Electric motor, 1328. The standard system. There are some standard products already. 1328. Finished product. HALB. Sorry, semi-finished product. HALB. Casing. 101-100. You can all view these things and identify why they are different. You first do the concept, then do the analysis, then do the practice. Don't directly go and create the... See, after creating, you're not able to answer what is the finished product and what is the semi-finished product. All your creation is waste. Don't waste your time in that way. 90% of the people who learn SAP are that just going into the system, doing some end user jobs and saying that we know SD, we know CRM, or we know MM. It is, we don't take you because you know how to create a material. We'll take you if you can identify the difference between the semi-finished and finished product on the system, why they are mapped, in how they are mapped, what difference they make in the views. You have to identify the difference, not to create. That's the reason I am saying you are not taken into the company to create materials. You are taken into the company to identify what is the difference between a semi-finished good and a finished good. So finished good is readily sold to the retail market. Semi-finished good, except few supplying companies, they will not sell it, isn't it? Semi-finished good, I cannot sell a casing without a motor, can I? So that's what you can see, this flywheel. Flywheel comes within the motor, within the engine, not separate. It's not a spare part. Right? It is a semi-finished product which has to be fixed with another compressor. Is also the same thing. These are all called semi-finished goods. You understand the standard systems mechanism. If you see that, oh, HAL means compressor, then you'll understand this subject. Otherwise, simply I'll tell you the other way around how to. Example of raw material, ROH. Plastic. It is also having a code. You can see this. 21407. Like rubber, plastic and rubber. I'll ask you these examples and there will be a test in which I'll ask all these things. You have to again remember these things. FERT is motorcycle. FERT is motor by itself, electrical motor. FERT is CPU. Okay, these all are IDS products examples. Okay, So you have to understand these things, at least the basic one. What do you mean by verb? What is middle type verb? It's a packaging material. That's what he says. An empty can. You can also write this. 5 liters empty can where you can fill some products or some materials or something like maybe liquids. It can be filled. Right? So the more you analyze these things, because I just shown you how to do an analyzation part. So here you can see when you're going into a product, so what is this metal type Dean means? Just now we discussed before this we started with. Dean is a service. So when you get into a service, that means I suppose for example there is a service for consulting services, cooling systems, desktop repair, non-configurable. So you can see this. I am trying to does not exist in 1000. It's 1200 trust. It's not 1000. 1014. Yeah. In such criteria, if you can go into something called as, because what is the display T code? /NMM03. See, in SAP, don't ever do the creation directly. You know, most of the people, what they do, they go create. So everybody know the T code called MM01 /N. /N is always common. MM01. So here, what they do is they'll create some material, industry sector, material type, click, 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 create, and they end up, oh, they assume that they know how to create a material. Do remember, you will not be taken into the companies because you know how to create a material. In fact, they want you to understand what is this material is all about, how the material differs by types. Because if you're changing the type, there is some change in the system. There are some fields will change. So to select, there is always something called F4. See, here it is, you can give a material type. Suppose if I want to know service, I will select D. Enter. If you can see, I have selected a services product, and as soon as you have selected the service product, for example, for a junior consultant, for a consulting material, consulting partner, for everything they have created some materials. You can see this. Material can be a finished product, a semi-finished product, a service product. So for example, for a desktop repair service, so as soon as I pressed enter, it is asking me some views, basic data 1, basic data 2. So you write these examples of some views of products, basic data 1, basic data 2. Hello. Yeah. So whenever you have written these views, basic data 1, basic data 2, sales org data 1, sales org data 2, general plant, and sales text. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the 6 views generally SD consultants will be having an idea. But these MRPs will be by the PP and MM people. Accounting is by FI people. WM is by the warehouse people. So like that, if you can see how many are there in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So do you mean these are only the views or anything more is there? We have many more views actually, but this, yeah, 30 views are there, but it is only showing you few because for service products I don't want all the views. Whatever is required, only those views are given, because do remember that according to the material type, the views are also limited. That's the reason he has found this concept called material type. Because when you select a material type, the view of the material type will change. Okay, so now I've selected only those 5 views. If I give 1000, it is going to throw an error. It's saying that this material is not available in plant 1000. So then what should I do? I have to go here and F4. It is going to give me. So this is only searching F4. Always use F4. It will help you. So even in sales organization, it is telling me that it is there in 14 distribution channel. So I have entered. So you can see this. Basic data 1 is having unit of measure. Basic data 2 will have only the description, but dangerous goods indicator and all are, because it's not a dangerous goods, so they did not
add those things. Any CAD indicator, that means you have any CAD diagrams and all? No, you don't have it. So he has given many other options where if design links are there, you can find it. Sales org, because in the sales org means it is a sales headquarter. Distribution channel means through which the product reaches the customer. This is a service product. That means desktop repair is only for the configurable things. You can see the base unit of measure, delivering plan. It is not about only finding these values. You have to understand what do you mean by sales org 2. There is something called general item service delivery item category group, NORM, standard item. Product hierarchy. That means product hierarchy is nothing but definitely there will be many hierarchies. So that means suppose all the high-tech repairs products, he has given one hierarchy. Machines, it is having one hierarchy. If you click F4, you'll come to know that means you have to study the screens. It is not only creating the screens. If you only create, you'll not understand all these things. Okay, so that's the reason, because I cannot tell you every time, oh, click like this, study, because you're in the starting stage. I'm trying to help you out, but you have to have that research-driven learning, not that academic-driven learning. Or something is taught by the faculty, so I'll do that and I'll keep quiet. If you are learning in that way, mark my word, this training will not give you 100% result. For that case, any training what we have inside the companies, any corporate training provided by our companies, if we don't practice it in a proper way, we are not going to benefit, isn't it? So many of you who are working in companies, you know that what trainings, different trainings they give you within the company, and if we don't adapt them, where are we? So many times companies are spending thousands of dollars for your trainings on different new upgrades and technologies. Many times employees don't utilize that, but companies have will spend that money on the employees, but half of the employees utilize it and they just grow in their career, and some of them will not get that essence of the training. That's where even SAP is also like that. If you are coming to like a normal trainings in your colleges, in your schools, like what you had, you're learning, in that way you do it only for, because there everything is not practical, but here it is, you have to work around and you have to get interviewed by people who know about these things very well. Suppose, let us assume you are in a project where you are going to work on the elevator manufacturing company. So then obviously he is going to ask you what kind of product hierarchies you have in your company, and you will just have a blank face because you are not prepared. You don't know what this product hierarchy is all about, because you will assume that the faculty did not teach me what is product hierarchy. That's the reason I did not know it. No, that's the wrong thing. Because of your lack of analysis knowledge, you will miss such kind of questions. No faculty can teach about every field in this. It's not possible for him, because this 30 views will take 30 days if you start working on each field. So you have to have that. The standard materials and products he has given so that you can understand. Suppose there is something called material statistics group here, F1. F1 is documentation. What he says, specifies a group for this material which will help the data system to update in the LIS. LIS means logistical information system. That means it is, if you don't know what is LIS is all about, then that is another problem. There is something called MIS, management information system, SIS, sales information system, like that. For entire logistics process, we have something called as LIS. So what he says, you can assign statistic group to each of the following: to item category group, to document type, to customer and material. Right now, we are in this. In which part? Statistical group, in which part we are here right now? Material, isn't it? We are in material. In the same way, he says you can give this in the item category, material statistics group. So item category also will affect. So all these materials what you are going to create here, they are going to reflect in your sales orders. They are going to reflect in your deliveries. They are going to reflect in your billing. And every consultant knowledge should be in where this thing is going to reflect tomorrow. Where this NVORM is, because you have put in this. Tomorrow, when I'm creating a service order, I'll give this T-ZS201. Whenever T-ZS201 is being used in the desktop repair company, this will copy all these things to that document. Because, for example, you're booking a flight from a source to destination, so something from Delhi to Frankfurt. So obviously, when you're trying to buy the ticket, it will show you all the Frankfurt flights on the dates and on the times. How it is bringing? Because it has all the basic information which is already stored in the master data. That's the reason it is trying to give you all the information. So you have to understand how these master data are used in the enterprise service, so sales companies or service companies, right? So you can just get into this views like general plant. See, in the plant, what is talking about the procurement time, and is talking about replacement part if it is there, material freight group. There are some empties here. There is something called profit center. So you don't need to know the serial number profile, serial levels, but profit center, definitely it is going to be a major part. So you don't need to know about what is this shipping data in times, how much time it may take for the setup, because it's a service, so we don't need any. Why the gross weight is 0? Because this is a, why the gross weight is 0? Because this is a service product. Service product will not have any weight. Okay, so if you are seeing these many of these units here, AU means it is an activity unit. That means service is what has to be done at the service place. It is not measured in kgs. It is an activity. Okay, so for everything he has provided certain techniques, certain field related aspects. If you can see MRP1, it is material requirement planning. So he's asking which storage location you are trying to see. You can see this. Why no planning? Because this is just a service product. But in the same case, I will open. See, if you guys don't analyze after this session, all this class is a waste. It's not relevant. That's what we're saying. It is not relevant. MRP, that's why it is written, it is left empty. Nothing is there. In cases, if you want to return the product, if you want to have a damage during the service, we find it, then the MRP requires. The delivery time requires, because how much time, how many days it takes to go to the service point and comes back to the customer point. For that reason, MRP is user copied. Got it? Yes. Now, why return spares? If a computer is having a problem, it's not a spare, right? If the entire CPU is having a problem, it's not a spare. Okay, so when we can go to a no, that's the reason you open a spare part, you'll understand.
Okay.
Right. When you have such kind of doubts, you have to, because he has given the ERSA also. So when you open that, then you'll understand why that's the, see, he has taken the basic view of MRP, otherwise you'll not get the plant integration, because plant is also very important. In that case, why plant is required? In that case, nothing in the service has to be entered, right, except the person's name. So there are some basic views you cannot escape. So in case of the entire product has to be returned back, because many times it happens. If there is a problem in this the CPU has to be returned back and replaced. That's not a spare part. That's a replacement. Okay. Replacement and spare parts mechanism is different. So if you take this in the same PCs itself, we'll take one of the finished product. See, do remember why I'm taking this class? Generally, I believe SAP learning is in three parts. One is the fundamentals, which you have to read at home and come to the class. I think most of you have not done that. Then the second part is analysis, and the third part is hands-on. And I'm sure that everybody will try a hands-on, but the first two things people do escape because of some excuses. But do remember, if you're missing the first two steps, you are missing 70%. Okay, hands-on, what you're going to learn in the classes is only 30%. Many people don't know this, because many of the training setups across the globe, they only say that please practice these things, these are enough to get a job. That is absolutely wrong. If you think the classroom can only give you a job of a 150K or a 130K package with 30 days, so then there will be half of US and full of India will learn that, isn't it? So you'll not, that's not that easy to get into the market without having the proper foundation. Okay, that's where people will be very difficult. People will find it very difficult to get a break into the market as they learn the hands-on, because the books have written that with steps. Every book talks about the hands-on, but no book can talk about the analysis, because that is a huge subject. The books are not written on the, because even when I was there with an authors meeting in Delhi and SAP Bangalore, so I mentioned that, but they are helpless, the students who newly learn, they cannot be taught the analysis part. The books, Glenzie, because I was there with Williams as well, giving some suggestions in the latest SD book in the last year's reprinting. So he had made some changes, but basically the problem is he says that the candidates across the globe who send him emails, they are only worried about the screenshots, because book, they are finding it, they are using it as a guide only to follow the system. But analysis part, yes, if we start writing it, it takes 1,000 pages, and again the publishing companies are not interested to, because many guys don't buy those books. They will go and struggle in the market by getting into rough patches, missing the interviews. Many guys from US call me saying that, oh, I'm getting a lot of interviews, I don't know where I'm doing my mistake. So that means you have learned it in a wrong way. If you don't know what is your mistake and why you're not able to be selected, why you're not being shortlisted in the companies, then obviously you're definitely learned it in a wrong way. At least you should know what mistake you have done, isn't it? See, when you have dashed a car while driving on the roads, if you don't know that whether it was an accelerator or a clutch, you made a mistake, then who can help you out, isn't it? So it is basically, you have to understand. Suppose, yeah, for example, let us come up with some products which are finished products. Take one of the press. So you have to know this. This is called something called search help. Close it. See, whenever we go for the T code called MM03, it is display material. Go for an F4. Material type, I want to know FERT. Or if you can see this material by material type, and there is something called sales material by description. So I want to know by FERT, not by sales material. If I want to know by sales material, then again it will ask me which sales organization. You can see this. The search sequence also will change. If I go for by material types, then it will ask me which type you are going to look. So I'm going to look something called finished product or spare product. Then we have service products, perishable, semi-finished, manufactured parts, configurable material, apparel, non-stock, pipeline. So he has given hundreds of options where you can study the business in detail. So like for example, many times we use FERT, so I'm getting into FERT, and in this I'll be selecting one of the material types in this. So I have selected a FERT, isn't it? So if we can observe, when the FERT product itself is given, you can see the views. The views list has increased or not. This is the observation you have to make. So if you don't observe this, simply say that FERT means when I create a product, like what is the difference? So now I will select this green, all views, enter. So I will click on F4 here and see like which plant it belongs. Yeah, it has 1000. Storage location F4 001, which belongs to 1000. Valuation type, that means which kind of value, there is no valuation here. And sales organization do not exist for this material, so just leave it. There is no sales related, there is no distribution channel here, enter. So deletion flag, that means this product is about to be deleted, so that means it may be an old product. So if you can see this basic data 2, there is no information in this. Sales org 1, he already has said that there is no sales information in this. It is only a material which is finished. So you can see this base unit of measure, pieces, loading group through crane, and transportation is through on pallets, MRP1. The base unit of pressure MRP group, you can see this 0031. What is this MRP group? 0031, product by lot with a make to order production. It is. So that means what is the advantage by giving these numbers here? Because when there is a stock is about to be over, they will definitely, system will automatically read this 0031. So like this, like there are a lot of other views which you can go to accounting. In accounting, it is talking about valuation class. It is talking about what is the moving price, what is the standard price, what is the total stock. So everything, you can see the plant stock here. This is unrestricted 100. The same stock is being copied by accounting. Accounting 1. Here also it is talking about 100. So these references you have to study. Open the screen, open a lot of material, study. Don't go for creation. Creation I'll show you in 2 minutes or 1 minute. Just material, just go to /nmm01 and mm01. Select a material, select industrial sectors, industrial type, select views, click, enter, save. That's a data entry job. If you are learning only to create a material without studying it, it is a data entry job. Okay. So each of you tomorrow explain me at least 4 types of material, like one service, one semi-finished, and one finished product. This is an assignment for today. Tomorrow morning, you guys are, each of you are explaining me what is the difference between, take some internal examples. You don't need to create. Okay. Creation is at one single go. You can even copy from an existing. Suppose if you want to create a finished product, you select, that means a new flywheel or a new motor is being added into your business. So take an existing motor, copy it, and change that relevant HPs or only 2 or 3 fields. which are newly updated. That's it. So materials are done, can be done by copying, can be done by uploading. That's called legacy system migrating workbench. Okay. So because I have my next session at 8:30. So right now you can ask me some questions if you have for today's topic. You can just type your questions here on the text so that I'll answer you back.